Here are 10 struggles of being a highly intelligent person. Number 10. The curse of constant analysis. For highly intelligent people, the brain never really shuts off. Every conversation, every text, even something as dumb as a cereal box slogan turns into data to decode. You don't just read words, you dissect them like they're cryptic prophecies. Did she say cool or cool with a period? Was that approval, sarcasm, or a secret grudge? This constant analysis makes you hyper-aware but also exhausted. Instead of living in the moment, you're running mental simulations of every possible meaning and outcome. And the irony? Half the time, there's no hidden message at all. Your brain just hates leaving anything unexplored. What feels like sharp perception to others can feel like mental noise to you. It's the curse of intelligence. Your brain's too powerful to switch off, so even the simplest interactions turn into puzzles that never stop running in the background. Number 9, you understand systems and can't unsee how broken they are. One of the hidden struggles of being highly intelligent is seeing the bigger picture and realizing just how broken it is. Work, school, politics, even dating apps. Once you understand the systems behind them, the inefficiencies, the exploitation, the sheer nonsense, you can't unsee it. Where others shrug and go along, your brain screams, "This doesn't make sense. This could be better." But instead of making life easier, that awareness can feel like a curse. You notice wasted time in meetings, flaws in policies, manipulation in marketing, and it builds into constant low-level frustration. Ignorance really was bliss because intelligence often means anxiety with data. You're not just living in the system, you're trapped in it, fully aware of every crack in the foundation. And while others can ignore it, your brain won't let you. Number 8. Small talk is mental torture. For most people, small talk is harmless social glue, a way to fill silence with a few safe words. But for highly intelligent people, it feels like mental torture. Someone asks, "How's the weather?" and your mouth politely says, "Nice," while your brain is screaming, "Why are we wasting breath on this? Can we skip to mortality, intergenerational trauma, or the collapse of late-stage capitalism?" The disconnect is brutal. Your mind craves depth, but society runs on surface-level exchanges. So you either fake enthusiasm for pointless chatter or risk being the intense one who dives too deep too fast. Neither feels satisfying. That's the paradox of intelligence. You can see meaning everywhere, yet you're stuck in conversations designed to avoid it. Small talk isn't just boring. It feels like starvation when your brain is wired to feast on bigger questions. Number 7, you intuitively know when someone's lying. One of the stranger struggles of being highly intelligent is spotting lies without even trying. You catch the inconsistencies, the body language, the tiny gaps in the story. And while everyone else is nodding along, your brain is silently screaming, "That's not what happened." You weren't even there, Dan. The problem is, calling it out makes you the jerk, but staying quiet feels like swallowing nails. So you smile, nod, and play along, all while your brain is running a full fact check in the background. Instead of enjoying the conversation, you're stuck debating whether to expose the lie or let it slide. It's less like having a superpower and more like being cursed with permanent truth radar, one that won't switch off, even when you wish it would. Number 6, you can see through yourself. Self-awareness is supposed to be a gift, but for highly intelligent people, it can feel like a trap. You don't just notice your patterns. You understand them in excruciating detail. You know why you procrastinate. You can trace your defense mechanisms back to childhood. You recognize the exact coping strategies you're using in the moment, and yet you still can't stop doing them. It's like living in a hall of mirrors, watching your own flaws play out in real time with full commentary. Instead of ignorance being bliss, awareness becomes paralysis. Because knowing better doesn't automatically mean doing better. The cruel part? Intelligence gives you the clarity to diagnose yourself, but not always the discipline to change. You can see straight through yourself, and sometimes that only makes the weight heavier. Number 5, you can understand people, but still can't relate to them. One of the strangest struggles of high intelligence is how well you can read people, and how little that helps you feel connected. You catch the subtext in their stories, the emotions under their tone, the motivations they don't even notice themselves. On paper, that should make relationships easy, but instead, it often feels like you're on the outside looking in. You're at the party, laughing at the jokes, nodding along to the stories, but it all feels like it's happening behind a pane of glass. You understand people without actually feeling part of them. That gap creates a quiet kind of loneliness, surrounded by others, but never quite syncing up. The brain that makes you insightful also makes you a little alien, fluent in human behavior, but not always fluent in belonging. Number 4. Your humor is too fast, too dark, or too niche. Smart humor is a double-edged sword. Your brain fires off layered jokes, maybe a mashup of Greek mythology, Dune, and a side of existential dread. And instead of laughs, you get blank stares, or worse, awkward silence. It's not that the joke wasn't funny, it's that it was too fast, too dark, or too niche for the room. So you end up backpedaling with a half smile. No, it's fine. I'll just go laugh at my own joke in the corner. The struggle is that your humor thrives on complexity, timing, and references most people don't carry around in their mental library. What feels hilarious in your head can feel confusing or unsettling out loud. It's not that you're not funny. It's that your punchlines are operating at a frequency most people's radios aren't tuned to. Number 3. You get paralyzed by too many good ideas. For highly intelligent people, motivation isn't the problem. It's overload. At any given moment, you've got 15 projects, 4 business ideas, 2 half-written screenplays, and a podcast concept bouncing around in your head. Each one feels exciting. Each one feels possible. And that's the trap. Instead of picking one, your brain locks up, terrified of choosing the wrong idea or missing out on the others. So you do nothing. Or rather, you binge YouTube, reorganize your desk, or call it recharging, while the ideas keep piling up in the background. To outsiders, it looks like procrastination, but really, it's paralysis by potential. Too many doors open, and you can't walk through any of them. The cruel irony? Your brain isn't lazy, it's just too creative for its own good. Number 2, you can't do small goals, only grand master plans. For most people, progress comes from small, steady steps, daily habits, bite-sized wins. But for highly intelligent people, that feels unbearable. Your brain doesn't want drink more water or walk 10 minutes. It wants a 90-day transformation plan, complete with color-coded charts, milestones, and a cinematic montage at the end. Anything less feels pointless. The problem is, giant master plans are exciting to design but exhausting to sustain. You burn hot for a week, maybe 2, then the system collapses under its own ambition. Meanwhile, the boring small goals you dismissed are the ones that actually build momentum. To outsiders, it looks like discipline when you unveil your elaborate plan. But deep down, it's all or nothing thinking. Intelligence hijacking consistency. You don't lack vision, you just struggle to scale it down to the steps that actually work. All right, before we hit the final struggle, tell me in the comments, which of these brainy curses do you suffer from? And which ones should we add for the other overthinkers out there? Don't forget to subscribe, because let's be real, you're probably going to procrastinate anyway, might as well do it here. Now, let's get to number 1. For most people, wasting time is just that, time wasted. But for highly intelligent people, it's a double hit. You don't just scroll TikTok for 40 minutes, you scroll TikTok for 40 minutes while hating yourself for not writing your novel. Your brain keeps a running tally of everything you should be doing. So downtime never feels like rest, it feels like failure. The guilt loops in the background, draining even more energy than the distraction itself. And the irony? That guilt makes it harder to start the important work, so you end up avoiding it longer, which fuels even more guilt. It's a self-sabotage cycle powered by awareness. Being smart means you see the cost of wasting time with crystal clarity, and yet you still can't stop. So instead of one problem, procrastination, you get 2. Procrastination and the shame of knowing better.